welcome back to This Week in Haiti, our live stream. Last week we were not live, but here we are live again
You're alive
uh,
again.
at the office in Brooklyn and going live out on YouTube.
And who are you?
I'm Joseph Mullen. I look a little different than I did in past broadcasts, but still the same. Um, Kim, how are you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm Kim Ives, English language editor here at Haiti Liberty. Thank you, Joseph.
Well, thanks for joining us. And see, we already have a listener tuning in, and hopefully more people will see the live stream starting up and join in, even if it's not the usual time and date. But these lives, we at least are doing them each week, once a week, in addition to our issue review. And this week, we're breaking down volume 19, issue number 17 for the week. And the big news of the week with Haiti is very much tied into the broader news that's occurring around Venezuela in particular is very important. So those who watched the issue review will know that a lot of the issues and uh, a lot of the analysis of the week is very tied in with the developments that are occurring around U.S. imperialism's push against Venezuela, and kind of a theme that has been developing a little bit in the analysis has been, well, something we've touched on a lot, and it's in the film Bitter Cane that we talked about. I talked about a little bit for the issue review, is the kind of a almost like a sub-series that's been going on of a couple of articles from Curvin's Louison, one of which is in this issue for the week, which kind of touch on imperialism and how it manifests in Haiti in the particular forms that it's taking, that it has been taking for it's been manifesting a sort of a new phase for probably 40 years or 50 years or so. So we can touch on that a little bit. I think there's probably no better expert on the longue durée of that shift, having seen it firsthand.
From ringside.
Yeah. So we'll get to that article, which this week is touching on the UTE, the Technical Execution Unit of the state apparatus. But before we start there, we do have some news from starting with the front page article for this issue, which is discussing the diktat of Washington. And it's literally, those who saw the issue review will have seen the picture, which I find very funny. These the Washington ministry, the nomenclatura arriving, and they all get water bottles for some reason. I don't know why they all have water bottles and none of the CPT.
Yeah.
But there's another picture in the article when you flip the page, which is really good, which we can't zoom in without our camera setup that we usually have for the issue review. But if you watch the issue review, it is there and online. People can check it out. And I like the angle that they take the picture from, because it makes it look like the presidential, particularly the current, acting de facto president, whatever,
Right.
Illegitimate. It looks like he's on trial. It's like you're seeing him from this angle, and he's sitting right there. They're all lined up as if it was like Nuremberg or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. So let's start there. when was this meeting? Who was involved?
Yeah.
Where did it take place?
Okay, my mic is not quite as loud as yours, but I think we should be able to be heard. The meeting was a week ago on October 18th, and the key takeaway of this meeting is that the puppet government, what's called the Presidential Council, temporary or transitional presidential council, TPC or CPT in French, was claiming that this was a sort of a planning meeting for what's going to happen with the newly formed or forming gang suppression force, which is basically replacing the multinational support mission, which had been deployed last June, in June of 2024. Now, this was supposed to solve all of Haiti's problems, this deployment of Kenyan-led soldiers. Most of the soldiers are Kenyan. Out of 1,700 are Kenyans. And some Salvadorians, some Guatemalans, a few Bahamians, and a few Jamaicans thrown in the mix. But it was a dismal failure. They didn't get anywhere. And as we've discussed in previous live streams, the U.S. managed to browbeat and strong arm the UN to approve a new force. And the key things you have to understand about this is the force has Chapter 7 powers, meaning it has the power to intervene internationally. That's the power that was given the UN in 1945 in Chapter 7. But this was only supposed to be for international conflicts between two different states, not for internal matters. And that's what they've been using it in recent years, particularly Haiti, as we discussed. Opened the door. This Pandora's box was opened by Jean-Bertrand Aristide in 1993 when he asked to put Haiti under Chapter 7, which was a huge, huge mistake. And now they're using it. But it's gotten worse in that at that point, it was the UN Security Council, which was running the Chapter 7 operation, the UN peacekeeping operation, what they call a UN PKO. But now that China and Russia are in the mix and not down with the program, they're having to end run them. And to do that, they are giving Chapter 7 power to new bodies. And this one is called the Standing Group of Partners, SGP, which is just a group, a coalition of the willing, if you will, that the U.S. is concocting with whoever they can get. At this point, the one country they have with them is Panama.